Okay, in this video, we're gonna learn about creating materials and also how to add custom materials into Revit. And let's go ahead and just use this wall as an example, how I can apply material to wall surfaces, etc. Okay, so the way you modify or change materials or create your own material library collection is you go under Manage, Materials, and this will pull up the material browser. So the material browser is really effectively your material library. Okay. Now, Revit comes with a little bit of materials in their material browser, but this is actually something that is attached to your file, wherever it goes. Okay. What you need to do is this. You have to create your own material, or at least create a set of materials that you can point to so that you can customize it. So go ahead and create new material. Underneath here, click on Create New Material. You'll notice that a default new material pops up. Click on Identity, and what I like to do is always create materials first with my initial. You could go ahead and create it with your initial, and then spacebar. Let's call this wall covering 1. Now, the reason why you should create it with your initial is because when you select for these materials, it's alphabetized so that you can search for them quickly if they're all under, let's say, EL or DS or whatever. So under graphics and appearance, you notice that it's pretty much nothing. It's just a grayed out material. What you want to do next is click on this button, which is the material asset browser. Click on that. And this will actually pull up the material asset browser that's within Revit. So go ahead and click here, specifically here under Appearance Library. It's got to be very specific. You're clicking on the Appearance Library and not Physical Assets. Again, specifically Material Library under Appearance Library. So let's go ahead and let's say we can choose anything, right? So this could be an actual wall covering. This could be paint, or it could be high gloss paint. You can select anything. So for now, let's go ahead and let me just pick, let's say, a floral pattern, whatever this comes with. Floral brown. You notice that when you double click on this, when you double click on it, it'll actually inherit the properties into that material that you're creating. Again, double click. This goes into the material property that that's being selected. So I'll go ahead and select floral brown, close out of this. Very important that when you're here, you click apply and then OK. So let's go ahead and let's go to realistic view. So right now my wall is pretty much gray. What you want to do next is you want to click on modify, and then on the geometry you want to click on paint. Okay, this is actually how you actually apply paint to something. Go ahead and click on paint, and then go ahead and just paint this. Okay, so I clicked on the wall, I just painted it. I'll click on the top, I'll click on the side, I'll click on the back. Okay, now you could obviously apply different materials to different sides. So I'm just showing you how to do that. Okay, so that's actually how you apply materials. So how do you change the material? So you do the same thing, go under Manage Materials. You see that EL wall covering is actually what's currently selected. If you want to change that specific wall covering that's attached to the wall, click on Material Asset Browser, go to Appearance Library, and I'm just going to go ahead and select something like masonry, just to kind of show you that I can actually change the materials that's already been defined. I'll just go ahead and click on a brick, close out your asset browser, hit apply. You see now that actually changes my EL wall covering material. And again, this is under your asset browser. Okay. I'll change this back to the wall covering and hit OK. Okay, so that's actually how you create new materials and add them to your material browser, which is over here. So the second question is, how do you create your own custom material? How do you create your own custom material? So I'm just going to go ahead and draw a wall out here. And on this wall, I'm going to create my own custom material. So same thing, go to Manage Materials. Go ahead and go click New Material. Again, it will say Default New Material on the identity. Call it EL. And I'm just going to type Custom Wall Covering, just so I know it's the custom one that I created. Hit Apply. And you'll see that right now my EL Custom Wall Covering is here, right above my wall covering. And again, now you see the benefits of actually naming your materials according to your initials, because they appear right on top of each other. So underneath here, what you want to do first is you want to click on the asset browser. In this case, it's a wall covering. So what you want to do is you want to click on a wall covering, any wall covering, so that it inherits the actual properties here. And you want to do that first before you click on a custom material. You want to get it as close to the actual material type. Why? Because on the graphics and appearance, this is very specific. Every piece of material has reflectivity, transparency, self-illumination properties. You want to get this as close as to what you want to create first. Like for example, if I were to create a custom metallic wall paint, underneath here I would create EL custom metallic wall paint. I would click on the metallic wall paint, any one of these, and then I would then go in and customize it myself. So the trick is really you need to create and select something from the default library as closest to what you want as possible. And then from that, you modify it to a custom material. So in this case, this actually could be a piece of fabric. So I can either use wall covering or I can use fabric. That probably would be just fine for a wall as well. So let's go back to wall covering. I'll pick my floral brown. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and close my asset browser. And underneath here, you'll see that there's something called Finishes Wall Covering Pattern 2. When you click on under Appearance Library, when you click on this will actually prompt you for the material JPEGs that comes with all the Autodesk products. Like for example, you'll see other JPEGs like the wood material, CMUs, ceramics, other finishes. So you want to go ahead and what you want to do is you want to select something custom. Okay. And then I guess for the purposes of this demonstration, what I'll do is I will copy something onto my desktop, and I'm going to name that something else. And I'm doing it in the background so you actually don't see it. But what you want to do is you want to actually copy this material, the one that you have created, into your C drive. Create a new material on the C drive and call it Revit material. Now this is kind of important. The reason you're creating this under the C drive is because you need to transport this with you, and the C drive always stays the same. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and this custom material that I made, which is just a dumb JPEG, is going to be inside your C drive under Revit material. Okay. Now just to kind of show you that it is under my C drive, I'm going to go ahead and open the Windows Explorer, click into my C drive, and underneath here there's this thing called Revit material that I just created. And basically you want to copy your own materials or your own JPEG into this thing, into this directory. Okay. So now that you've done that, go ahead and select that. You notice that you'll now populate this with your own material. So whenever you click into it, you see how now it's under that Revit new material. And then hit OK. Apply and then OK. and then go to modify, paint the wall again. And then I'm going to paint it under my EL custom wall covering that I just made, and go ahead and paint that. So that should be a custom wall covering piece that you actually imported via a JPEG. Okay, so I think that's it. That's pretty much it. Thank you.